Hello, friends, and welcome to our Advent special on Adventures in Pixieland Ministry. We are in day 22, and we are in Luke chapter 2, verses 16 through 21, in our countdown of the birth of our Messiah, who was in fulfillment of the Scriptures. That's what part of what makes him our Messiah, right? So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in a manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what they had been told about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. And again, what a pretty little nativity scene. Nice. Okay, so now in the New International version. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what they had been told about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds had said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. On the 8th day, because we're in a new thing here, that Jesus presented in the temple. On the 8th day, when it was the time to circumcise him, they named him Jesus, and named the name the angel had given them before he had been conceived. So following as they were told. The King James Version of the Bible. Okay, sorry about the interruption. There was a coyote not only on the street, but standing on one part of my front yard. And the dog I'm fostering did not like that. That's what all that ruckus was about. But that's also her job. That's a predator. So we locked her in, and then we scared the thing away. Coyotes, they don't want any confrontations with humans. Unless you corner them, they're not going to be aggressive. So you just clap your hands really loud and yell, they'll run off. And that's all I did. Ran off down the street. There's a wash nearby that I can get right into in that away direction. And then, so verse 16, Luke 2 in the King James Version. And they came with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. And when they had seen it, they had made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And that they heard it wondering at those things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary had kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, and it was told unto them. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child, his name was called Jesus, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. The English Standard Version. She had to go patrol to make sure I was right about the fact that it was all gone. But she was willing to eat her cookies. Make sure that she actually rewarded herself appropriately. Warning of danger is a dog's job. And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. And when they saw it, they made known the saying that had been told them concerning this child. And all who heard it wondered at what the shepherds told them. And Mary treasured up all these things, pondering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told to them. And at the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. The 1979 to 1980 Fireside Family Edition of the Catholic Bible. They went in haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. Once they saw, they understood what had been told them concerning this child. All who heard of it were astonished at the report given them by the shepherds. Mary treasured all these things and reflected on them in her heart, which is, why she was chosen to be the mother of the Messiah. The shepherds returned, glorifying, praising God for all they had heard and seen, in accord with what had been told with them, the circumcision of Jesus. When the 8th day arrived for his circumcision, the name Jesus was given the child, and the name the angel had given them before he was conceived. The 1966 Michelangelo edition of the Episcopalian Bible. So they went with haste, and they found Mary and Joseph and the babe laying in the manger. And when they had seen, they understood what had been told them concerning this child. And all who heard marveled at the things told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept in mind all these things and pondering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, even as it was spoken unto them. Circumcision and presentation. And when 8 days were fulfilled for his circumcision, his name was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. So they were obeying the Lord's messengers as they should be. I hope you'll join me for day 23 of our Advent special, friends.